tahniah. Siaran langsung ini dibawakan khas kepada anda oleh Akademi YouTuber Malaysia. Sebuah inisiatif e-didik Malaysia dan Kelab Guru Malaysia. Tumpukan perhatian anda. Siaran langsung akan bermula sebentar lagi. Link sijil akan diberikan di hujung siaran ini. Pastikan diisi dalam tempoh yang ditetapkan. Terima kasih.
Hai. Apa khabar semua? Salam sejahtera dan selamat datang ke Pusat Tuisyen AYU. Pusat Tuisyen percuma yang pertama di Malaysia. Pemula percuma, selama-lamanya percuma. Saya adalah Cikgu Yi yang berperanan sebagai moderator untuk sesi live hari ini. Subjek kelas tuition hari ini adalah Perakaunan yang akan disampaikan oleh Cikgu Yati. Jadi berikut adalah ahli-ahli dalam konti kita. Presenter kita hari ini adalah Cikgu Yati. Hai Cikgu Yati.
Hai.
Diikuti dengan control host kita hari ini ialah Madam Lee. Hai Madam Lee.
Hello.
Dan pemerhati kita adalah Madam Fizi. Apa khabar Madam Fizi?
Okey, khabar baik. Hai semua.
Sebelum kita mulakan sesi pelajaran hari ini, Cikgu ingin mengingatkan para peserta tentang beberapa perkara yang anda perlu ambil perhatian ya. Sila gunakan gambar profil yang bersesuaian dan tutur bahasa yang sopan di ruangan chat. Sila on kamera dan mic jika anda dipilih untuk naik ke ruang studio bersama dengan presenter. Dan sila tumpukan perhatian terhadap presenter dan hanya menggunakan ruangan chat untuk menjawab soalan atau jika ada soalan untuk ditujukan kepada presenter. Pada akhir siaran ini, link e-sijil akan diberikan dan anda hanya mempunyai 30 minit sahaja untuk mengisikan maklumat anda. Sila pastikan bahawa nama dan email yang anda gunakan adalah email e-didik ataupun email MOE. Pastikan maklumat yang anda isikan adalah betul kerana tiada pembetulan akan dibenarkan. Akademik YouTuber juga memberikan kredit AYU kepada pelajar-pelajar yang mengikuti kelas secara live. Jadi masa kredit yang dikumpulkan boleh ditukarkan dengan hadiah yang menarik. Cikgu akan umumkan 4 mata digit dari semasa ke semasa di sepanjang kelas malam ini. Jadi anda boleh isi dalam borang rekod kredit yang akan dipaparkan pada penghujung kelas ini. Jadi sekarang izinkan Cikgu memperkenalkan presenter kita malam ini dengan lebih mendalam. Nama penuh beliau adalah Cikgu Nohayati binti Ismail. Beliau mengajar di Kolej Matrikulasi Negeri 9 dan mata pelajaran yang diajar oleh Cikgu Yati adalah Perakaunan. Pengalaman mengajar beliau adalah 27 tahun. Hari ini, Cikgu Yati akan menyampaikan tajuk Perakaunan iaitu Accounting for Inventories. Sebelum Cikgu serahkan kelas kepada Cikgu Yati, Cikgu akan bacakan digit pertama bagi mata kredit kelas hari ini ya. Jadi semua sila ambil perhatian. Bagi nombor pertama, hari ini adalah A8. Huruf A8. Jadi sila catatkan kod tersebut dan bukan di ruangan chat ya. Jadi tanpa membuangkan masa lagi, saya serahkan kelas kita malam ini kepada Cikgu Yati. Dipersilakan Cikgu Yati.
Okey, terima kasih Cikgu Yi sebagai moderator for tonight. So saya continue with my lesson today. So Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera kepada semua para pelajar yang dikasihi sekalian dan juga kepada rakan-rakan saya, Madam Fizi dan juga Madam Lee. Okey, hari ini kita bersiaran di channel saya, Cikgu Yati channel. Okey, so saya introduce myself. Nama Nurhaiti binti Ismail and I am accounting lecturer dekat Kolej Matrikulasi Negeri 9 and the teaching experience is about 27 years, di mana 15 years in the schools and 12 years in Matriculation College. So you can visit my channel Cikgu Yati channel. Okay, this is my teammate. This is the collaboration between STPM and matriculation. So this is the accounting and economic PRAYU and lead by Madam Fizi. And this is mathematics for Pra-University that lead by Teacher Im. And next one ialah biology lead by Cikgu Faiza. And this is chemistry for collaboration, STPM and matriculation. And the leader is Cikgu Shahnun. And this is physics subject. The leader is Cikgu Rosmaya. And don't forget to visit www.academy.youtuber.com. So for tonight, I just want to discuss about accounting for inventories. Okay, untuk accounting for inventories atau dalam bahasa Melayu lah perakaunan, inventory lah. Inventories tu relate pada stock. Okay, this is the learning objectives under matriculation. The first one, you must know how to define the inventories definition. And number 2, inventory system. Number 3, inventory costing method. And number 4, the effect of inventory valuation on profit. The statement of income. Okay. So this one is for the matriculation syllabus for topic 8. Okay, now we start with definition of inventory. So definition of inventory is the current asset whose ending balance should report the cost of merchandise's product awaiting to be sold. So this is the current asset that waiting to be sold. So you want to calculate the cost of inventory. So all the inventory must be kept in the store. And the inventory of a manufacturer should report the cost of raw materials. Raw materials ialah bahan mentah, the terms bahan mentah, work in process, kerja dalam proses, and finished good, barang siap. So this is the definition of inventory, current asset, and we have to calculate the cost of the inventory waiting to be sold. Okay, this is the keyword, current asset, and you have to calculate the cost. And it contains raw material, work in process, and finished good. Okay, types of inventory. Number 1, raw material, work in process, and finished good. Bahan mentah, kerja dalam proses, dan barang siap. So, the inventory of raw materials and work in process that is not ready for sale, but we have to calculate the cost. And these costs are classified as inventory in manufacturing enterprise. Manufacturing enterprise tu maknanya pembuatan ya, perniagaan pembuatan bahan mentah untuk dijadikan barang siap. Okay, raw materials. So that one is the basic component parts of the finished product. Basic component bahan mentah that we want to use when you want to produce the finished good. So the example, cotton, and you have to use cotton in order to produce the finished good, that is clothes. And we need plastic to produce the finished good or finished product, that is toys. So another example is wood. So material is part of the inventory. The next one, work in process. So this is the inventory where that is the middle of the production stage, but it's not yet complete or not to be sold yet. So this is the middle of the finished product. For example, when you want to produce wood, work in process we call plywood or board before you produce the furniture. So that one we call middle of production stage. Okay, this one is used by manufacturing company. Okay, finished good. Okay, finished good is the term or the item that are complete and ready for sale. Finished good ialah barang siap. For example, woods, that one is raw material, becomes the work in process, that is plywood or board. After that, we have to process wood, become plywood, and the last one, finished good, it becomes furniture, perabot. So that one we call finished good. So this one is also types of inventory. Okay, now we want to know the inventory system. There are two types of inventory system. So when you look at the question, you must identify which system. Okay, the first one, periodic, or in Malay, berkala, dan ini adalah perpetual. So what is the difference between periodic or perpetual? You have to record the inventory cost and we have to choose one system. So if you choose periodic system, that means we have to record the inventory to obtain a physical count of inventory. So you have to calculate the inventory physical count. So that means we have to record at the end of the accounting period. Tarikh akhir. Maknanya kita tak perlu record continuously. We just record at the end of the accounting period. For example, for the month of January, you just calculate the inventory at the end of the month. That means 31st of January. Okay, for perpetual, berterusan, we have to record the inventory balance continuously and we have to update automatically. Okay, whenever a product is received or sold. So you have to record the inventory, whether you purchase the inventory or you want to sell the inventory, we have to record continuously. Okay, the keyword you must know physical count, and this one is continuously, perpetual. Okay, periodic, we have to record periodically or at the end of accounting period. And for perpetual, we have to record continuously based on the date. And when you want to record the date, you must record in order or chronological order. And the third one, you have to determine the ending of, for example, inventory, you have to calculate at the end of the accounting period, sama just now, and this one at all time. So you can see the difference between periodic and perpetual. And the last one, purchase goods are recorded as purchase account, whereas under perpetual, you have to record the purchase of inventory as inventory account. Okay, this is the journal entry to record inventory transaction. So the transaction you must record based on the system, either periodically or perpetual. Periodic. Periodic, that means you have to prepare the transaction at the end of accounting period. Okay, the first one. And you must know the difference between periodic and the perpetual for the transaction or the journal entry. The first one, purchase goods on account. On accounts, that means purchase goods secara hutang. So debit purchase, credit account, payable. That is the normal transaction that we have done in topic 3, accounting cycle. But under perpetual, you have to record debit inventory. That is the difference. You can see the difference. The first one under periodic debit purchase, but under perpetual debit inventory and credit account payable. The second transaction, sold goods on account. So this one you have learned topic 3. So under periodic, the normal transaction, you have to record debit account receivable, credit, sales. And for perpetual, and you must know, we must record inventory continuously. So you must record the terms inventory, not using purchases or purchase lah. Okay, the second example, you can see for perpetual, you have to calculate cost of goods sold. That is the inventory that you want to sell, but you have to calculate the cost. So we will learn more detail about COGS for this topic. And credit inventory. So you have to credit inventory because the inventory decrease. This is an asset decrease. Okay. Okay, the next one, the third transaction, return damaged goods to supplier, debit, account payable, credit, purchase, return. But under perpetual, you must use inventory, debit, account payable, credit, inventory. And the last one, customer returned goods. So this is the normal transaction you have learned in topic 3, debit sales return and credit account receivable. But for perpetual, debit sales return and credit account receivable, and we have to calculate cost of goods sold. So debit inventory and credit cost of goods sold. Okay, this is the inventory costing method. There are 3 methods. The first one, FIFO, first in, first out method. The second one, LIFO, first in, last in, first out method. And the third one, weighted average cost method. So under matriculation syllabus, we just learn more detail about FIFO and weighted average cost method. Okay, what is the meaning for first in, first out method? So the earliest goods purchased, first in, are the first to be sold. So in Malay, masuk dahulu, keluar dahulu. Maksudnya apa yang kita masuk, yang kita beli, kita kena jual harga terawal, the earliest price. Maksudnya stok lama. Under FIFO, you must sell all the old stock, the earliest price. Okay, the earliest item assumed to be sold first. Okay, cost of goods sold value is the value of inventory which is the purchase earlier. So when you want to sell the goods, you must calculate the cost. So the cost price, you must use the earliest price, the old price, okay? And ending inventory, we have to use the recent price or the latest price. Okay, so the concept for FIFO, kita jual stok yang lama. Jadi apa yang tinggal that left in the store is we call ending inventory ataupun stok akhir. So stok akhir yang ada in the store must use the recent price ataupun the latest price, harga terbaru. Yang kita jual adalah harga lama, yang tinggal dalam store, ending inventory must use the latest price. Okay, so you can see the keyword, the earliest goods purchased must be the first to be sold. Okay, you see the example, first in, first out method. Okay, there are 3 batch of inventory and just at the different price. The first one, the earliest price is RM $10, RM 10, RM 10. The second one, RM 11, and the third one is RM 12. So based on FIFO method, you must sell the earliest price. So which one is the earliest price? RM 10 or 10 ringgit, that one we have to sell first. So we have to calculate cost of goods sold. Unit sold or unit sale times with the earliest price. And the latest price, that one we call ending inventory. So you can see the different price with different batch. The first batch, second batch, RM 11, and the third batch is 12. Okay, now we look at the weighted average cost method. So this one we have to use COCA, cost of goods available for sale. We have to calculate only one cost per unit. That one we call average cost per unit. And the formula is you have to calculate cost of goods sold in RM divided with cost of goods sold, cost of goods available for sale, or RM, divided by cost of goods available for sales in unit. Or that one, in other words, you have to calculate beginning plus purchase. Then you get the cost of goods available for sales in unit. Then you get one price only. That one we call average cost per unit. So this is the example for weighted average cost method. So you can see there are 3 batch of inventory. The first batch, the price is RM10, the second RM11, and the third one RM12. So under weighted average cost method, you must use only one price. That one we call average cost per unit. The formula is cost of goods sold in terms of RM divided in terms of unit, 250. So you will get only one price, RM 10.88 per unit. And for this one, you must calculate this amount into decimal point. So 10.88, okay, only 2 decimal point. Okay, this is the example for weighted average method. Yeah? Okay, this is the difference between periodic inventory system with the perpetual inventory system. So when you want to prepare the answer, because you have to calculate the inventory cost, and based on the question, you must look at the question, which system. For periodic inventory system, you have to use the formula, and we have to start with ending inventory units. And then you have to calculate ending inventory cost. Then you have to calculate cost of goods sold, and the last one, gross profit. But for perpetual inventory system, you must prepare the table, and this is the format. There are 4 columns. You have to record the transaction in order based on the date. So kalau purchase, kita beli, you must record in the purchase column. If you want to sell the inventory, you must record under cost of goods sold. So you must remember, cost of goods sold is the cost that you have to calculate when you want to sell the inventory. And you must look at the balance of inventory cost in the store. So you must identify the question whether they are using periodic inventory system or perpetual inventory system. Okay, we look at the first one, inventory system and method. So this is the question. The first thing you must identify which system. So this question are using perpetual inventory system. And the second one, you must know which method. But for this question, we are using for both method, FIFO method and also weighted average method. And when you use FIFO method, you must know the first to be purchased must be sold out. So kita must clear the earliest price. Kita kena jual stok-stok yang lama. So the balance in the store, that one we call ending inventory, and that one is the latest price. Okay, look at the question. There are beginning inventory 1,000 units with the cost RM2. So this is the balance from previous month, December 2020. And this is the purchase. And you have to record the transaction in order. Purchase, there are 3 items for purchases and 3 items for sales. And make sure you record in order. Okay, we look at the answer now. The first one, when you prepare the table for perpetual system, under FIFO method, you must record the balance. So the first one, the balance, okay, you must record the unit, 1,000 unit with the cost price, RM2. Then you got inventory cost or beginning inventory cost is 2,000. So this is the first step. Make sure you must not leave for beginning inventory cost. Okay, look at the question. Just now I give you the second transaction purchase. The company purchased 1,200 units and the cost price is 2.20 or RM 2.20 ataupun 2 ringgit and 20 cents. Senang kan? So you got the total 2,640. So for that date, you have to record two inventory or two set of inventory. The first one, 1,000 ni kita carry forward to the next day, that is 9 January. And the second batch of inventory that you just purchased just now, you have to record in the store. So it means that in the store, there are two batch of inventory. The first batch represent for the earliest price, 2 ringgit, and the second batch represent for the price of 2 ringgit and 20 cent. Okay, this is the balance in the store. Okay, the 15th of January, you want to sell. The number of sales is 1,200 units. Okay, there are two batch of inventory. Kita kena ambil the first batch. So the first batch you have 1,000. So 1,000 unit. So kita kena keluarkan 1,000 unit with the price of RM2. So you got 2,000 for cost of goods sold. But we need another 200 because you want to sell the inventory 1,200. So not enough amount for the first batch. So the first batch we have sold out already and you have to take the balance. Kita kena ambil balance sebab kita nak jual 1,200 kan. So kita ambil only 200 from the second batch yang kedua inventory. So when we take 200, you have the balance about 1,000 unit with the cost price 2 ringgit and 20 cent. So this is the balance in the store. Okay, you can see that based on the FIFO method, you must sell the earliest price. So konsep dia kita nak jual stok yang lama ataupun stok yang terawal. Okay, the next step, make sure you record the transaction in order based on the date. Okay, for the 23rd of January, we purchased another batch of inventory, 800 unit, but the price is RM 2 ringgit and 40 cent. So you must record the stock, the old one, 1,000 unit, you must carry forward, carry down, and you must bring to the next day, 23rd of January. Every time you purchase the new stock, you have to record the new stock in the balance column, and this is the two batch of inventory in the store. So dalam store atau gudang kita ada dua batch inventory. This one is the oldest one and this is the latest one. And the earliest one we have sold out already. So you must know the FIFO method, we are using the earliest price when you want to sell the inventory. Okay, so in this part, 23rd of January, we have two batch of inventory. The first batch with the price of 2 ringgit and 20 cent and the second batch is 2 ringgit and 40 cent. Okay, another day, 24th of January, we purchase another inventory. So we must record this new inventory in the store. So there are 3 batch of inventory. The earliest price that not be sold yet, 2 ringgit and 20 cent. The second earliest one, 2 ringgit and 40 cent. And the latest price is 2 ringgit and 60 cents. Okay, so we have 3 batch of inventories for this date. Okay, nampak kan? Kita kena susun ya. The inventory ikut harga. Harga lama, harga yang kedua lama dan harga terkini. The earliest and the latest price. And 28th of January, kita sell 1,200 unit. Okay, kita ambil the first batch. This is the earliest price. 1,000 times RM2.20, and you got the cost of goods sold 2,200. But you sell the inventory 1,200. That is not enough inventory from the stock, the old stock. So we have to take another stock from 800, you just take only 200. You want to sell the inventory. And you have the balance 800 minus 200, you have the balance 600 with the price of RM2.40. Okay, you must remember we have only 600 units for this batch. And for the last batch, 1,000 unit times RM2.60, we must carry forward to this date because you have to record up to date. So up to date, so that means for this date, and you have 2 batch of inventory. The earliest price, RM2.40. We have only the balance 600 units because we have sold the inventory 200. And you must know this is the total for sales. And when you calculate, okay.
Cikgu Yati, tibalah masa kita memberi laluan kepada iklan AYU ya. Kita rehat sebentar.
Okay.
Ya, selamat kembali ke channel Cikgu Yati. Sebelum kita teruskan pelajaran, marilah kita lihat kod kredit yang kedua untuk malam ini ya. Jadi kod kredit yang kedua adalah nombor 5. Ya, nombor 5. Okey, sekarang kita serah balik kelas kepada Cikgu Yati. Dipersilakan.
Okay, thank you, Cikgu Yi. Okay, saya continue with 5-4 method. So I just want to give the conclusion. 5-4 method is the method where you want to sell the inventory. We are using the earliest price. And when you want to sell all the inventory with the earliest price, so it will leave the ending inventory with the latest price. Maksudnya kalau kita jual, company menggunakan FIFO method, dia akan jual stok yang lama. Stok yang lama ialah stok terawal. So apabila dia jual stok yang terawal, dia jual semua stok yang terawal, yang tinggal dalam store adalah stok yang terbaru. So yang tinggal, the balance in the store, that one we call ending inventory. So you can see the different cost of goods sold and the ending inventory. Okay, we continue the next transaction, 28th of January. Okay, you want to sell 1,200 units. So we just take the value for 2 ringgit and 20 cent. You have only 1,000. So we and the second batch we have to take only 200. So from 800 unit, this is the second batch. You just take only 200 because you want to make it 1,200. Sebab kita nak jual 1,200. So we are using two batch of inventory with different price. So bila kita ambil this value, you have the balance in the store, 800 unit less 200 unit, you have the balance 600 unit with the price of 2 ringgit and 40 cent. So the the inventory cost is 1,440, and the last batch 1,000 units, you just carry forward to this date, 28th of January. So for this date, we have two batch of inventory with the different price. And at the end of the month, we have to sell another, 30th of January, we have to sell 500 units. So we have to take the earliest price. We have two price here, the earliest one and the latest one. So based on FIFO method, you must take the earliest price and the amount only 500. So when you take 500 unit, you have the balance 600 unit less 500 unit, and you have the balance in the store 100 unit with the price RM 2 ringgit and 40 cent. And for this batch 1,000 unit, you just carry forward to this date, 1,000 unit with the price of 2 ringgit and 60 cents. So you have complete all the transaction for the month of January. So in the question, you are required to calculate ending inventory. So this is the ending inventory based on the inventory. There are two batch. The first price 2 ringgit and 40 cent, and the second price is 2 ringgit and 60 cent. You have to add all together and you get the amount 2,840. And you have to calculate cost of goods sold. You have to add all this amount, 2,000 plus 440 plus 2,200 plus 480 and plus 1,200 for all the transaction for selling. There you got cost of goods sold. You must remember cost of goods sold, that you have to sell the inventory and you have to calculate the cost. So the amount is 6,320. And after that, you are required to calculate gross profit. Okay, based on the question, it gives you the selling price, unit sales, and the selling price. So you have to calculate sales. The first one with the amount 1,000 unit with the selling price RM4, and the second one 1,000 unit with the selling price 4 ringgit and 20 cent, and the third batch for sales 500 unit times 4 ringgit and 50 cents. So this is the selling price given in the question, and you have to deduct the cost of goods sold that you have calculated just now, and you get the answer for FIFO method. Gross profit is 5,770 ringgit. Okay, you can see the difference between sales and cost of goods sold. Sales, unit sales times selling price. And cost of goods sold is unit sales times cost price. So that is the difference. Then you got the gross profit. And now we want to apply the second method, weighted average method, but still use perpetual system. Okay, you still remember perpetual system where you have to record all the transaction in order. Okay, the first one, you must record the balance. So the balance is 1,000 unit times 2 ringgit. Then the beginning inventory cost is 2,000 ringgit. And the next date, 9th of January, we purchase one batch of inventory with the amount with 1,000 unit and with the cost price 2 ringgit and 20 cent. Every time you purchase the inventory based on weighted average method, we have to calculate average cost per unit. Okay, nampak tu? Kita kena kira one price only. In the store, we have two price. The first one, RM2 or 2 ringgit. The second price is 2 ringgit and 20 cent. So we have to calculate only one price because we are using weighted average method. Okay, nampak kan ada dua set inventory. Set yang pertama 1,000 unit darab dengan 2 ringgit dan set yang kedua atau batch inventory yang kedua ialah 1,200 unit dengan harga 2 ringgit 20 sen. Okay, based on weighted average method, you must calculate average cost per unit. What is the formula? The formula is unit, the beginning inventory unit plus purchase in unit, 1,000 plus 1,200, you got the answer 2,200 units. So this one, the COGAF in units. And for cost, you must add the beginning cost 2,000 ringgit plus the purchase cost 2,640, and you got the total COGAF in RM 4,640. So 4,640 in terms of RM divided by 2,000 unit. So you will get average cost per unit 2 ringgit and 11 cent. And you make sure you record the average cost per unit in terms of 2 decimal point. 2 decimal point, ya. Okay, so bila kita nak kira, we have to calculate average cost per unit when you purchase a batch of inventory because you have the balance in the store. There are two prices, so you have to make it only one price. That one we call average cost per unit. Okay, the next date, 15th of January, we want to sell the inventory. So you have to calculate cost of goods sold. So the unit sold 1,200 times 2 ringgit and 11 cents. 11 cents. So this is the amount that you have calculated just now. So you get the answer 2,532 ringgit. So this is cost of goods sold. Okay, so you must check the balance in the store. 2,200 less 1,200, then the balance in the store is 1,000 unit. Okay, after that you have to calculate the inventory cost in the store. Okay, how to calculate? Okay, you must take the balance 4,640 less cost of goods sold 2,532, then you will get the inventory cost in the store 2,108 ringgit. Okay, that is the way how to calculate the inventory cost at the date of 15th of January. Okay, this is the price. You still have to use one price only. So you can remember, firstly, you must calculate the balance in terms of unit, 2,200 less 1,200. So this is the balance in terms of unit. And the inventory cost you have to calculate 4,640 less cost of goods sold 2,532. You got the answer 2,108. Okay, kita tak boleh darab terus. We cannot multiply this amount because with this amount we are using 2 decimal point. Okay, the
Cikgu
next one.
Yati,
Alright.
Cikgu Yati, saya announce mata kredit yang ketiga ya.
Okay.
Okay, untuk mata kredit yang ketiga malam ini adalah nombor 8. Ya, nombor 8. Okay, thank you Cikgu Yati.
Alright, thank you Cikgu Yim. Okay, kita continue ya. Okay, the next one. Bila kita purchase saja inventory, you must calculate the average price. Kenapa? Sebab kita ada dua price here. So macam mana nak calculate the average cost per unit? That is the total in terms of unit, 1,000 unit plus 800. You got the total 1,000 to 800 units. And then you have to calculate the inventory cost. This is the balance inventory cost plus the purchase cost, 1,920. Then you get the total 4,028. So you have to calculate average cost per unit using inventory cost or COGAF RM divided by 1,800 unit. And this is the amount for average cost per unit. And make sure you write down into 2 decimal point. And the next one, you want to purchase another one. Okay, every time you purchase the inventory, you must calculate average cost per unit. Kenapa? Because we want only one price. We need average price saja. So we have to add 1,800 unit plus 1,000 unit. Then you get the total 2,800 unit. And the inventory cost from the previous day, 4,028 plus 2,600. And you got the total 6,628. You have to divide with unit 2,800 and you get one price. The one we call average cost per unit, and make sure you calculate in terms of 2 decimal point. Okay, the next one, you want to sell the inventory. So the amount is 1,200 times the average cost per unit that you have calculated, and the cost of goods sold is 2,844. And you have the balance. Macam mana kira the balance? 2,800 less 1,200. You have the balance in terms of unit, 1,600 unit. And you have to calculate the inventory cost, 6,628 less cost of goods sold, 2,844. Then you have the inventory balance 3,784. And at the end, the 30th of June, we sell another unit, 500 units, and still we have to use one price only, RM2.30, and cost of goods sold 1,185. And you have to calculate the balance, 1,600 less 500. You have the balance in the store, 1,000 unit, and the inventory cost, 3,784 less cost of goods sold, 1,184, and you got the balance 2,599. And the price is still the same, RM2.37. So we have complete to record the inventory. Now we want to calculate the ending inventory. So this is the ending inventory that's still in the store, 2,599. And cost of goods sold, you have to add this amount, 2,532 plus 2,844 plus 1,185, and the balance is 6,561. Okay. And you have to calculate gross profit. Just now we have calculated already sales, 12,090 less 6,561. You got the answer, 5,521. Okay, now we want to use the same question, but we are using periodic inventory system under FIFO method. We are using the same question. Okay, this is the step under periodic system. Okay, based on periodic system, we must calculate ending inventory unit first. This is the first step. The second step, you must calculate ending inventory cost. So you must use the latest price because this is the ending inventory under FIFO. Because the earliest price we have sold already. And the third step, you must calculate cost of goods sold, beginning plus purchase less ending inventory. So for periodic system, you must use the formula. And the last one, you must calculate gross profit. Okay, we still use the same formula. Gross profit, sales less cost of goods sold. Okay, based on periodic system, you must calculate ending inventory unit first. Okay, you can compare with perpetual. Under perpetual, we have to prepare the table. Okay, now we look at the answer for FIFO method. First, you must calculate ending inventory unit. The beginning inventory unit 1,000 plus all the purchase in unit 1,200 plus 800 plus 1,000 less sales in unit. There are 3 batches of sales and you got the answer 1,100 units. So ingat ya, this is the first step and you must remember the formula. And the second step, okay, based on FIFO method, untuk ending inventory yang ada dalam store adalah harga terkini, the latest price. So, kita nak kira 1,100 unit. So, 1,000 ni kita ambil the latest price. Dia ada 1,000 only. So, kita ambil the latest price, 1,000 unit times RM2.60. Kita dapat the cost 2,600. Tapi unit dia ialah 1,100. So, kita ambil another 100. Kita ambil the second price. This is the latest one. Ini yang kedua. Ini yang terbaru, ini yang kedua barulah. So the total for ending inventory is 1,100. And the total cost of ending inventory is 2,840. Okay, based on the periodic, you must calculate ending inventory unit and ending inventory cost. Okay, you have to calculate under periodic, you have to calculate cost of goods sold using the formula. And this is the formula. And based on the question, beginning inventory, 1,000 unit times RM2 plus all the purchase costs. So this is 3 sets of purchases based on the question. And you have to deduct the ending inventory. Okay, for this part, there ada correlation. The first step, we need the amount to calculate for the second step. And the second step, the amount, we need to calculate, substitute the amount in the next step. So maknanya dia ada correlation between the step. And after that, you get the answer for cost of goods sold, 6,320. And the last one, you must calculate gross profit. And gross profit, kita kira sales. Sama juga macam tadi, kita kira sales. Unit sales, darab the selling price. Dan tolak cost of goods sold that you have calculate in the third step. So kita dapat less 6,320. And you get the answer for gross profit is 5,770. So you can see this is the step. Make sure you calculate based on the formula. Berbeza with perpetual where you have to use the table. Okay, the next one we are using periodic system but weighted average method. Sama. The first step sama juga. We have to calculate ending inventory unit and we still get the same amount. And the second step, we are using one price only. That one we call average cost per unit, COGAF, RM, divided by total units of goods available for sales. And then the third step, we're still using the formula cost of goods sold, beginning plus purchase less ending inventory, and it relates to the previous step. And the last one, you have to compute gross profit. Guna formula yang sama, sales tolak cost of goods sold. Okay, now we substitute the amount for weighted average method. Okay, the first one, kita still use the same formula, sama dengan FIFO cara mengira dia. So, saya tak payah terangkan. Okay, for this one, you must calculate weighted average cost per unit, one price only. What is the format? Okay, kamu kena kira the cost COGAF. So COGAF ialah beginning inventory plus purchases. So you just list the beginning unit times RM2, that one is for beginning inventory, plus 3 sets ataupun 3 batch of purchases with the price, different price, and you got the total for purchases and less ending inventory. Okay, macam mana kita kira COGAF? Okay, 9,160, this is the COGAF RM divided by 4,000 unit. Macam mana dapat 4,000? Okay, this one, 1,000 plus 2, 1,200 plus 800 plus 1,000. Nak dapat RM, you have to calculate 1,000 unit multiplied by RM2. Then you got 9,160. And when you calculate the average cost per unit, make sure you calculate based on 2 decimal points. Then you got the answer. Ending inventory cost is 2,519. So the next step, kita kira cost of goods sold. What is the formula? COGAF ataupun cost of goods available for sale less ending inventory that you have calculated before, 2,519, and the amount is 6,641. And the last step, you must calculate gross profit. Kita guna formula yang sama, sales, you have to calculate total sales tolak cost of goods sold that you have calculated in the step 3, 6,641. Dan kita dapat the answer 5,449. So you can see, we just use average cost per unit. Ini lebih senang lah because you just calculate COGAF RM divided by units in terms of available units available for sale. Okay, now kita nak see what is the effect of inventory evaluation on profit. So kita based on periodic inventory system. Kalau kita tengok, the sales for FIFO and weighted average is the same. Tapi the amount for cost of goods sold under FIFO is less than weighted average. Kenapa? Because under FIFO method, cost of goods sold use the earliest price. Earliest price tu harga lama. Harga lama biasanya harga yang lebih rendah. So kita dapat cost of goods sold under FIFO is lower than weighted average. Because weighted average method kita campurkan semua, whether the latest price ke ataupun the earliest price, kita ambil the one price only. And then you have to calculate cost of goods sold lah. Okay, when you calculate the gross profit, you can see that the profit under FIFO is higher than the profit under weighted average method. Kenapa? Because we have lower cost of goods sold. Nampak kan? Gross profit is higher under FIFO than under weighted average. So yang mana that we have to pay minimum taxation? So minimum taxation is under weighted average method. Kenapa? Minimum taxation will refer to the minimum taxation. The lower the profit, the lower taxation that you have to pay. And when you compare the FIFO method and weighted average method, the ending inventory under FIFO is higher than the weighted average. Kenapa? Because under FIFO method, ending inventory we calculate based on the latest price. Harga terkini. Harga terkini is higher than harga terawal. So that's why you got the higher ending inventory under FIFO. So this is the conclusion. The ending inventory value for FIFO method is higher than weighted average method because it is valued at the current cost. So current cost that means is the latest price. Tetapi COGS is lower because we are using the earliest price. Bila kita using the earliest price, the profit is higher under FIFO. Okay, so adalah the effect of inventory evaluation when you want to calculate profit in the statement of income. Okay, habis. Now I give you one question. So dah terlebih 1 hour. The question number 1, hopefully all of you, are you ready for my question? So if you are ready, please give me the correct answer. Items below classified as raw materials which act as the basic component parts of a product except, kecuali. Semua ni adalah raw material kecuali which one is not classified as raw material. A, cotton, B, wood, C, toys, D, flour. So can you give me the answer in the comment or in the chat? In the chat comment. I'm waiting for your answer. Oh, tak ada answer ke sebab hujan? Mungkin hujan, internet slow ya. Hari ni hujan kan? Dekat College Matrikulasi Negeri Sembilan memang hujan lebat dan kawasan Negeri Sembilan semua hujan kot. Okay.
Ada pelajar yang bagi jawapan.
Okay.
Ya, Nur Iza Atira dia bagi C.
Okay, C.
Chua Pei Kun C. Muhammad Izzuddin dia juga bagi C.
Okay. Okay, cukup lah kan 3 kan, yang lain macam hujan kot, internet slow. Okay, the answer is C. Betul lah tu ya. Sebab ni semuanya adalah bahan mentah kecuali toys. Toys tu dah barang siap. Toys ialah permainan. Okay, the next question. Saya nak habis sikit lagi. There are 3 types of inventory except. Ni semua ni adalah types of inventory kecuali raw materials, work in process, purchases and finished good, which is not inventories, types of inventory ya, sebab disebut except. Okay, any of the student want to give the answer? Okay, maknanya ada 3 types of inventory kecuali except. Inventory ialah stok ya, yang disimpan in the store dan dia untuk dijual semula with the highest price. So tujuan dia untuk dapat untung.
Ya, Cikgu Yati, kita ada jawapan daripada pelajar di Chin Rao, jawapan C.
C.
Kita ada Amil, jawapan C. Nurul Haswani juga C. Ramai yang jawab C ya, Cikgu Yati.
Bagus.
Harish juga jawab C.
Alright, betul jawapan dia C. Okay, betul lah tu kan. Ni semuanya adalah material work in process. Bagus. Congratulations kepada yang jawab C. Betul lah jawapan C. The last one. Ni last lah. Okay, perpetual inventory system means that the company must. Perpetual tu saya dah beritahu you have to prepare the table dan kita kena record yang mana betul. A, updates inventory record continuously. B, updates inventory record periodically. And C, record when it is needed. C, D, calculate ending inventories unit first. Mana satu the correct answer? Okay, this is the last one. Soalan yang agak susah kot.
Ya, sudah ada jawapan ya Cikgu Yati. Ada dari Nashwa, jawapan adalah C. Paisata, jawapan A, jawapan tak sama.
Tak sama.
Muhammad Izzuddin, jawapan A.
Okay.
Dan Wan Nur Adin, jawapan A.
Okay, the answer is A. Ni sebenarnya perpetual ialah kita kena record the system, inventory system berterusan, ikut tarikh dan kena ikut susunan. Okay, itu saja daripada saya dan jangan lupa subscribe my channel. Okay, bye semua. Okay, saya kembali kepada Cikgu Yi semula. Terima kasih.
Ya, terima kasih Cikgu Yati. Jadi sebelum kita mengakhiri kelas hari ini, Cikgu nak mengumumkan kod mata kredit yang terakhir ya untuk kelas hari ini. Kod mata kredit terakhir adalah nombor 1. Ya, nombor 1. Jadi kita nak ucapkanlah terima kasih kepada Cikgu Yati atas perkongsian yang sangat bersahaja dan menarik ini. Dan tahniah juga diucapkan kepada semua pelajar yang setia bersama kelas malam ini ya, dari awal sehingga ke saat ini. Jadi untuk makluman semua, link sijil boleh didapatkan pada ruangan chat. Sila berikan perhatian, link tersebut akan tamat tempohnya selepas 3 minit sesi live ini. Jadi pastikan anda menggunakan email yang betul ya. Sebagai tanda penghargaan kepada Cikgu Yati, marilah kita like, subscribe dan juga share channel Cikgu Yati. Jadi tanpa membuangkan masa semua, marilah kita kongsikan portal AYU kepada rakan-rakan dan guru-guru seluruh Malaysia dan juga diingatkan bahawa semua kelas online percuma ini boleh ditonton semula melalui link yang disediakan di portal AYU ya. Jadi semoga kita mendapat manfaat daripada kelas-kelas yang dijalankan. Sekian, terima kasih dan selamat malam kepada semua. Bye-bye.
Berita baik untuk semua. Kini Akademi YouTuber memperkenalkan sistem mata ganjaran kredit AYU untuk dikumpul. Jom ikuti kelas tuition live AYU untuk mengumpul kredit AYU dan berpeluang menebus hadiah-hadiah yang menarik. Hadiah bernilai lebih RM10,000 disediakan secara percuma untuk pelajar seluruh Malaysia. Apa tunggu lagi? Tebus ganjaran hebat ini sekarang. Layari www.academyyoutuber.com untuk maklumat lanjut.
Dibawakan kepada anda oleh Akademi YouTuber.